I need a motion to consider authorizing the purchase of election reporting software for the county webpage from Election Source in the amount of $7,500 for installation, and then $1,500 per year annual license fee, therefore to be paid out of account number 101-262-801.000.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion. Clerk.
Okay, one of the things I've been talking with you guys for the last few months is the security measures that they're trying to put in place for 2020. And so, of course, when we're at conferences, there are vendors trying to sell products and what have you. Well, out of the three that I have kind of had interactions with, Election Source has one that some of our surrounding counties are also purchasing. This is their world. This is what they do. They meet all the criteria for the Bureau of Elections and the walls of protection that the county website needs. I've had Jackie speak with the vendor as well because that's more her language than mine. But one of the nice things about this is that it is very specific to our county. If someone were to go to it, it comes up and you can see all of our different jurisdictions, and it's basically man-made just for us. And it is great for the telephones. That is something in the last elections that we've had a really difficult time with people and the different devices that they are trying to get the results from. And so it's been tested on Androids and iPhones and tablets and different browsers and things like that our county website has had a number of issues with. It also has results that when we post them, it replaces anything that may have been there prior, whereas when we do it on ours right now, it doesn't append. So people don't know that they have to scroll down to see the results. It also allows us, if there's any issues, that we are able to take the website down right away. And we can also put the races in order, so it's just not starting out with like the presidential. We could make our county races the very first thing that people could see, and then it goes down from there. He was willing to bill me under the $5,000 criteria that we normally have as a county, and I said, I really would rather go before the board and ask us as a collaborative effort to kind of look at this. He's willing to come in on Wednesday and do a presentation if you guys want it. In our budget meeting, this is something we were putting in for 2020. Jackie was asked to be here because she's more, this is her language, not mine. And as you know, we were there. We talked about bringing it
Yes.
to you guys today to see what your thoughts were as far as the presentation for Wednesday. And if you have any questions, Jackie, let's see.
Anybody have any questions, or this is part of the deal now, security for your elections and your voting? Yeah, Gary?
Is this somewhat the same as the other counties are doing, or are the other counties already doing it?
There are other counties around us that are doing it. Saginaw, Gratiot just signed on. Branch County is doing it. Tuscola County will be doing it. Genesee County is looking at doing it as well.
Okay. Jackie, do you have anything to add?
I do.
Sounds good. Thank you.
So the process of pulling the results are pretty much going to be the same, where the clerk is going to go into the elections site or to the election machine, in which is not connected to the internet, pull the results, put it on a flash drive, and then upload it. Instead of it going onto one of our servers here, which is an external server, like she said, it's going to go onto their server, which I'm sure is going to be, we're secure here, but still you have that data transmission that goes across. And I'd rather have it uploaded to their site where you know it's going to be absolutely secure. When I called the company to find out why it was so much for a setup fee of $7,500, because I thought that was kind of steep, they told me that what they do is they go out there and they build the maps for our county. And when you look at it, it is really nice because you're seeing all the different precincts that are out there. You're able to hover over it. They're going to see at that time those instantaneous election results, rather than with ours, it seems like with any device or platform that we're on, the caching just doesn't come up quickly enough. You know, so I remember watching one of the elections, I'm watching it for one of my schools that are going through for a bond issue, and the superintendent is emailing, you know, everybody saying, hey, here's the results, we're doing good, and I'm thinking, where? I'm working for the election things, I'm not seeing it. So, you know, we're just not caching enough. We've tried a number of different ways. We've tried to export it out in an Adobe. The refresh rate is just not there. We imported it out to an HTML. Well, every time you would export it out, it would append the results. And so then if you had a lot of line items on the ballot, you were scrolling forever. So I think that it's definitely worth it, like she said, Carolyn said. Abby will be able to go out there and view the results. She'll be able to pull that site down if she doesn't, you know, if she doesn't like it. So a lot of features that we don't have.
Any other questions? Dan?
Just from my experience in doing this, they are the number one, that website is the number one place to go to get election results. Because other counties, for similar reasons or whatever, can't report as quickly. And that website is where everybody goes, so.
Any other questions? For Jackie or for Caroline? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Would you like him to come on Wednesday?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, just to see what's.
Did you mention he was willing to go down to 5,000?
I've tried. Jackie's tried, I've tried, and he,
We can ask him
Did
again.
ask him.
All right, then thank you. So he will be here Wednesday for a brief presentation. Okay. Item number 5, need a motion to approve or ratify the proposed tentative settlement of the Probate Court Employees Association 2019 to 2020 collective bargaining agreement.
So moved.
There's a motion to support, discussion.
I would just add that there's 2 items up on this. One is the previously agreed upon. When I say agreed upon, you remember we met with the board discussing what would be approved, and there was the on-call and holiday pay policy for the probate court employees, and that is on there. And then there's also we had a mediation, and the mediator recommended, and there was a tentative agreement from the employer, which is Judge Clarkson, and for presentation to the funding unit, of moving the probate court employees to the 6-step system. And they are currently on the 9, and the cost for them moving, especially in light of some advancement in the pay scales that was made in 2018 reopener, the pay would be negligible as far as the budget, because some of them actually would end up not getting a bump until the next time because they moved ahead in the pay scale in the previous reopener. But that is the bottom line, is to move them to the 9-step. I'm sorry, the 6-step system instead of the 9-step, and that would be the 12 employees who are part of the probate court employees association. I believe the employer, Judge Clarkson, is here as well.
And that would be effective March 27th.
Yes, let me add that, and that would not take effect until March 17 of 2020, 6 months in. So 6 months away.
Okay, what Mike put together, there's 2 motions. The first one.
Well, you should take them separately.
Yeah, that's right, but I mean, but you talked about both of them. The on-call holiday and pay schedule. Is there any questions about that? We have talked about that, worked on that before. If there's not any more discussion on that, that's item number 5. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay, item number 6. Mike kind of moved right into it. Judge, go ahead.
This number 6 is not my big issue, quite frankly. It would just be wouldn't that, this one is make them consistent with the county policy, wouldn't it?
Yes, they
This
would
was
they would
not-
request that instead of the special rule that I believe Judge Strauss wrote a number of years
Well,
ago.
those Stracos would not apply to the probate court.
No, but I'm not so sure he didn't write this. He was the chief judge.
Yeah, I don't know.
Either way, that would be something they would go to the policy that that's in the personnel policy for the non-represented employees,
Okay.
which allows them to do some rollover and things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I believe he was here mostly about the number 5.
I don't have any great opinion on that one. If you think they should be consistent with with the non-reps, that's fine. It's not. I think that your coordinator or administrator thinks it makes sense more than I do.
Well, it was requested by them.
Yeah, it was. It was.
I didn't.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to it, don't get me wrong, I'm not opposed to it.
Okay. Gary?
I know I'm not a good, but you said it wasn't gonna cost much. I didn't, is it? I mean, is it $1,000 or 20,000? I mean, everybody says not much, I don't know what they mean, so. I just thought maybe we ought to have some kind of a estimate, at least a dollar figure.
We should have that.
I believe we can,
Should we
we
write
can try
over?
to draw one up. I mean, we got a lot of things going with the budget, but the reason it should be negligible is because 3 of these employees, the higher ones, were actually better off under the 9 staff. So they would be held in place until they would rise up to the next one. That right away is no change. A couple of them were advanced in the last one, and that was, so they won't have a change until the next year. Is there something?
Yeah, there's something I want to say. If we could just get the salaries and see what the cost difference is or what it is, and then also while we're at it, I would like you to do, if you could, is find out how much it cost us, because I imagine Bonnie Toski attended these extra sessions and came out for our closed session when she gave us advice. I'd like to know what all of that cost us
She
in
came to
regards
mediation.
to everything that we've done, when we're now going back to what the original offer to them was. This was the original offer to begin with, and then we fought them for 1.5 years. So I guess I'd like to know the total number of costs we've put into it fighting something that we've now given our original offer on.
Well, bear in mind, we're 2 years down the road on it.
Oh,
so
that's all.
the
I'm
cost
asking
is
that
less.
you
But we can do
could
that.
try to find that for Wednesday's meeting.
What's the benefit of item 6 here? Why even have this on the agenda? I don't understand why there's a benefit or not a benefit.
Well, they had a reopener, Commissioner. They're entitled to their reopener negotiations, and when the original negotiations were unsuccessful, they went to mediation, and the mediator has made a recommendation. Now, it's a mediator, not an arbitrator. The board does not have to follow it. But that's what's here. They were entitled to bargain because of their reopener clause.
So what do they gain? This is normal, maybe.
Well, it matches them up to the circuit court. I mean,
Are we talking about
frankly, the
item
other
five?
union
Right,
has-
that's what I'm confused
I'm
about.
confused about too.
What are we talking about?
I thought we've already done 5 and we're working on 6 now.
Yeah,
That's the
so
case.
Okay.
5 is the 9 step to the 6
Right,
step.
right. You guys will vote on that on Wednesday, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Well, and approval of the tentative agreements, which also included the on-call,
Whenever a judge
which
comes
we
before me and
discussed.
hesitates on an
prior.
item, I have to do a little bit.
Well, I guess I thought I was all wound up about 5 and ready to talk about 5, and that's gonna, maybe for Wednesday, that's another issue, but the 6th one, I'm not opposed to it. It's just not, I thought it was pretty
Yeah.
benign, actually.
So what are we doing?
They requested it, and number 6 is, well, it couldn't be part of the bargaining because it wasn't brought up as an item. And they weren't really bargaining, but there is an issue with the way their vacation time doesn't roll over or anything like that. They are perfectly willing to accept, as most other unions are, with what's in the personnel policy. It's just the courts had a special one, especially because of the circuit court, where they had, because they don't have redundancy in their positions up there, it was difficult apparently to previous Judge Lestracco. He had some concern about building up too much vacation time, because then they would want to take it and there'd be a trial going on and it'd have to be canceled. And they didn't have people to replace others with it.
So,
The other thing, it brings more consistency to the county, to how things are done across the board. And every time you do that, you eliminate just a little bit of unhappiness that is hanging around because departments aren't the same.
what this is, it makes it, the policy is consistent. And it makes it,
Right.
now having not to decipher everything, because, well, that person got this and this person got that, or that person got to do that, why can't I do that? I mean, I've been listening to it for a while. Okay. Any other discussion?
No, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Judge. And thank you, Mark. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion carries.
You did the motion.
I moved,
Okay.
I have to imagine.
Mr. Garland?
Cindy support. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
We'll
That'll
be back
be-
tomorrow night, same time, same place.
We don't, Wednesday.
We got
He's got-
other matters
he's got-
tomorrow. We have other matters tomorrow.
Oh, okay, all right. Hey, okay, all right. Okay. Finally, number 7, submission of a draft 2020 budget. What you have in front of you is, we had budget meetings, and I was very happy with, everybody came with all their things done. There wasn't a lot of requests for increases. There's some increases because of the cost of overhead going up. An area that we'll have to discuss at great length is of course, we have MERS on the table. We'll have to discuss and get familiar with between now and November, and also maintenance on buildings. We'll get something together this week from everyone who came. I made sure Mike and I and several commissioners came in and out for budget hearings, but I managed to make almost all of them. I think I missed Larry's. Where's Larry? I think I missed Larry's. But anyway, for maintenance, where we're going next year with budgetary items, of course, MERS is a big discussion item we'll have to have. And Tracy was excellent. We basically sat in front of the computer, and when each department came in, they had most everything done, and she had it on her computer. We put it up, we filled in blanks, then it did right across the board. It did 17, 18, 19, and 19 amended budget, which happens, and then 2020 recommended budget. And again, this is just a draft. This is a working copy. That's why it's in paper form. I noticed that Tracy told me that there was, I mean, if you printed it out, she said, yeah, we got 30 pages. Yeah, there's a lot to read there. But if you get some time, take a look at it. So on and so forth. Gary.
Yeah, I see it's going up, almost $1 million, and then it shows that our revenues are almost $2,600,000. So I think we're gonna have to do a little erasing on some of those wishes, because I don't think we're gonna get $2.6 million. That's just the way I look at it, so.
Yep.
We're gonna be repaired, so we can only live with
Is
so
that
much.
without, those numbers without the MERS even under discussion at this point?
They should include MERS.
They do include the MERS.
Yeah, they should.
That's the
Well,
automatic that we have to kick in now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well,
I'm not totally fine with that.
Yeah.
these are interesting.
So you've got some interesting reading. Any other, I'm just handing it out today, we don't move it forward, but I'm handing it out, and so on and so forth. But I would say that I was really happy with Tracy and Mike and all the department heads and supervisors, elected officials. They all came prepared, and we had very good discussions. Now remember, this budget, and each budget this year will also include the Blue Cross, will also include MERS as a line item. And that, of course, that'll make your budget look bigger, but it's really pretty much what it was last year, with some exceptions. So it's gonna be all right there for everything.
Yes, then I want to point out, there's a number of revenues that we're not locked, we haven't got them locked in yet.
Yeah.
We also, I don't know if the board members read their email I sent out later today. There's an issue there. The governor has vetoed some
Yes.
significant,
Right. I almost printed that out and brought it here.
yeah.
So, what was the one about the road patrols for sure?
Secondary road patrol,
That's it.
money is, she vetoed that.
Well, how much money is that for us?
Well, it's 110,
It's over
120,000.
100,000.
120?
75.
75,000, it basically paid for one
One road count?
Yeah.
a road deputy, and then there was also a cut to the corrections fund. Now, some of this, if you've been following the news, you know there's some kind of a game of chicken going on between the legislature and the governor. And who knows, some of this may be restored. There's another item, is that the revenue sharing, which we have not reflected yet, which can be kind of important. The state revenue sharing has been budgeted for an increase this year to all counties, and that she did not cut.
There was another piece about shoring up taxes on land that's like parks and stuff. In lieu of, I forgot what that was.
He's talking about bill payment in lieu of taxes.
Yes. How much of that would affect us?
We don't have that much in there.
We don't have
I
any
believe
money.
we only have one parcel that's
Okay.
getting repaid, and it actually gets, 100% of that money gets paid out to that
Okay,
township.
good.
So I don't think that would have a very big
Okay,
effect on us.
Okay. So we do have some questions, but we do have the preliminary draft. Everybody have fun.
I'll further say, based on some of those line items, I would have been happy to sign on to a resolution disagreeing with it, just like, was it Alvin, I forget what the county was. Algonac? I would have been, I don't know how many counties have done it other than that, but I certainly would be in favor of our own resolution that kind of mirrors what they said. Just disagreeing with counting some,
The coun-
arbitrarily knocking out certain funds that are required. For a little county like us, for goodness sakes, we're not Genesee County. You know, $75,000 could well mean a road deputy on the road for us.
Yeah.
So,
It almost-
I just throw that out there in case any other commissioners agree with me. So,
Yeah.
Yes, some of the other counties, I think I might put in there, they were reducing deputies. I
Yeah.
believe Monroe County if they don't get the secondary road patrol, they are cutting a deputy. Now, in their case, they have a vacancy right now that hasn't been filled, so that he would move into that vacancy. But the end result is that they would still lose the position.
And, you know, secondary road patrol is pretty important. We can go along in this county and not have what we call B&Es. And all of a sudden, we start to have an area that gets B&Es. And that's secondary road patrol, along with patrols, regular patrols. They end up patrolling that area much more, and it becomes much more effective for law enforcement. And it also, too, is if that's gonna stand and not be put back in the budget,
Right.
we really have to think about what we're gonna do.
In a year where we're already facing some tough numbers,
Yes,
you know.
yeah, Gary.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you guys were here there, but when we cut the whole road patrol out for the county, for the sheriff, the state police come in and take over, so don't think we're not gonna be looked at for nothing drastically happened. We didn't qualify it, everybody thinks we're gonna go down the drain, we didn't. They didn't say how many was gonna have, but they said anytime something happened, we were gonna have somebody here, and we do now, so.
We did qualify for the state to come out and patrol though, right? Which, at any day, you never know, the governor could arbitrarily say, you know what, that program's over with, that was a previous governor's program, we're done. So you take the state troopers out of here, all of a sudden,
That's not gonna
we might be in trouble.
No, you don't know that's not gonna happen.
You never know. We're cutting and cutting all of a sudden, and we only have, what, two municipalities in this county that have full-time police department? It's not like we're Genesee County where there's 24 hours all over the place that can respond. If we have to rely on Genesee or state police to come over, that could be a nightmare.
Mike, what else do we have that's being cut? There's MDOC reimbursement for jails.
I didn't bring it in, Commissioner.
I mean, it's
If
one,
you have
road
a-
patrol, secondary road patrol sticks out, but there's,
so's the corrections fund.
yeah,
The
but
corrections,
there's other
yeah.
ones.
Yeah, and then, if you have it on here.
there's always Wednesday, but these are all questions that I would want to raise. I'm glad you brought it up, Brian.
We could have a list for Wednesday, for all of us.
But like I said, when we have not included it in this, there is supposed to be an increase in the state revenue sharing, and that was not vetoed. So that could help substantially too. Depends on how much it is.
That's good to know. We'll put some numbers together and everybody can kind of see what could happen. Yeah, very good. Okay. Okay, with that, discussion, other agenda items. Anyone else have anything they'd like to discuss at this time? I'm sure the budget will take up a lot of our time in the future. With that, we'll call the public. Anyone here like to wish to speak? If not, meeting adjourned.
Payment of taxes.